Hey viewers, this is Slick Sinister here again with another episode of Tech and for Thought. This time around I'm going to talk about controlling space. Now, being able to better position yourself in this game is a lifesaver. It gives you a chance to limit the options of your opponent. You can create whiffs, you can give yourself breathing room, and just managing the game becomes less stressful when you can see what's going on. So how do we control space to our advantage? I'm going to cover some ideas here on this topic. For starters, let's look at movement first. You can't control nothing if you don't know how to create the movement. Now, of course, you can do a backdash in Tekken, you can sidestep, you can sidewalk, and you can dash forward to decrease the distance of spacing. Now, what you're going to want to do at some point is also use some advanced movement in the game. For example, you have what's called backdash canceling. Now, backdash canceling, for those who don't know, it allows you to cancel your backdash so you can either block, keep moving, or do repeated backdashes in succession. So instead of just doing a single backdash and having to wait before you can do it again, you can go back. I'm gonna go back up here. You can do repeated backdashes to move at a faster pace and a smoother pace. So that way you can create that distance between you and your opponent. Now, key note is that the notation for it is you're going to do back for the dash, then down back, down back. You just have to do that first back the first time of the dash, and then the rest is down back, down back. Now, keep in mind you want to do that first back dash as far as possible. As far as the distance, you want the max distance to be covered before you cancel the back dash, because if you do it short, kind of just twitch away as opposed to just gliding away and covering more ground as you do it. And before I go to the next one, on a side note, some people do this back dash where they do back, quarter circle back. That's the wrong way of doing it. You run the risk of actually getting hit while doing it, because the point of you adding that extra down is that the down back of the correct backdash cancel allows you to move and block. Chances are you may not be able to block if you input that extra down. Plus, if you use certain characters like Paul or Brian who have a backswing, you're really going to get clipped because you can't block out of a backswing. So tighten up to those who are doing it. You can do better. Now, another thing you can do in this game is called dash block. So if you're at a certain range and you know you got to get in, you know there's a life lead, chances are your opponent is aware of this, or they just want you to come in after certain moves. You can dash and then hold back or down back to block highs, mids, or lows. So for example, I have Claudio here. I'm going to set the computer to repeat an action of, I'm going to do his standing 4-3, and it gives a little pushback on block. Of course you can duck it, sometimes you don't, but for this purpose, we're looking at the pushback because I'm going to immediately do his hop kick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record 4-3 and then hop kick. Pause it, reset it back. So you're going to see this here. Now that's me not dash blocking. That's me as an opponent trying to get in there. So I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to hold back as I dash. One more time. Bam. So dash blocking allows you to decrease that gap in space and to take a less risk in trying to get in against somebody. Sometimes you don't have to go in doing strikes. You can use that space to control people's action by just dash blocking sometimes, because you can force them to throw out something and you can take your turn back. Now, another thing is when it comes to movement, now I covered that movement can help you increase your space or close the gap. So let's look at using that space to your advantage. Now, when you space at certain ranges, you're able to reduce the options your opponent can use, and you can decide, of course, the action that may benefit you. For example, if we're at range 0 and 1 right here, range 1, maybe kind of right here. It's kind of a free-for-all when you're up near somebody, especially if you're at disadvantage. And if you're a big character defensively, or a tall one like Marduk or Fakuram, yeah, you can still kind of sidestep. You might be able to backdash, but you may still get clipped because of the size. So a good range to be at, I'm gonna reset it, is kind of around here, around range 2, 2.5, because you can see what's going on with your opponent. It's not all jumbled up. Also, depending on the matchup, certain moves an opponent can do that can really hurt you, really mess you up, can't reach you. You know, even though I'm using Claudio, let's give an example of someone like Steve Fox. You know, up close, Steve Fox can annoy you with his lows, and he has a down back 3-2 that only trips at point blank range. Outside of this range, you kind of really force characters like him and some other ones to really try to get in there or to try to do stuff that reaches. And then on offensively, you may prefer to be more defensive. You may have a character like Fakuron right here that they excel hanging out at this range because a lot of their moves reach for normal poking purposes. Like for Fakuron, standing 3 travels pretty far at 2.5. Down 4-1 travels pretty far. Both kicks, oh sorry, that's that one. Both kicks covers pretty far. Jet kick covers very far. So he has certain options that even at this range here, down 4 covers. Even though it's -16 on block, at max range it's hard for some characters to wall rise and launch it. So you mixing up dashing, back dashing, sidestepping, sidewalking, and around this range here, you're able to actually either control space, regain control, and just overall manage the game a whole lot better. So if you tie in movement and you tie in, you know, being comfortable doing the dance around this range, what's a good purpose for this? Well, for me, a good purpose of spacing and better positioning yourself, it ties into an old saying that I had as I was learning Tekken, and that is, I don't want to get launched. I don't want to eat crazy damage. I know that I can't completely avoid it, but if I can reduce the risk of seeing my health bar fade away, I'm going to try it. You know, I'd rather space, have an opponent really try to nitpick me, try to throw, try to kind of do things to open me up versus me throwing the match at somebody. Especially when certain matchups, you're not going to know every move list. You're not going to know every move going on in the game, or every advantage or disadvantage. You know, spacing and knowing how to swiftly move away by backdash canceling or just getting in by dash blocking, that helps you mitigate that damage. Now you may get, I'm not saying that you'll never not get launched, but it's just that concept. You reinforcing it, okay, if I'm spacing and I'm at this range, what can I do to get in? Or if you have a life lead, okay, what do they have to do to get in? You're able to visually see stuff better. You're able to manage stuff better. You limit the options of your opponent. You might limit yourself, but you're also limiting the damage you're getting from your health. Now, on that note, that's just a brief thing of controlling space. Stay tuned because there's going to be more parts on dealing with control. I just wanted to do this aspect because I feel like sometimes players get caught up in trying to do too much movement that they don't think about the actual space itself. Now, this is Slick Sinister. I appreciate you guys taking a look at this. Hit the like and subscribe, and stay tuned. There's more to come. Thank you.